Hello, what's up, everybody? Can everybody hear me? Uh, I'm Dylan Hirt, the matchmaker, event coordinator for Rival FC. This is the pre-fight press conference. We're joined with several of the fighters, and we're gonna get it kicked off. I think we're gonna start with Samuel Sloan and Noah Hirt. What's up?
How's it going,
on?
How are you guys?
I'm doing well.
All right. So let's do a quick little intro. Go ahead, Noah, and start. Just like your name, your gym, and your record.
Yeah, my name's Noah Hirt. I am 4-1, fighting out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and I'm an independent fighter. That's me.
All righty. No, Sam.
My name's Samuel Sloan. I am fighting out of Bushido MMA and Metamorphosis Combat Academy. I am 2-0 with 2 first-round knockouts.
All righty. Okay, so I'm gonna start this off with a couple of questions for both of you guys, and then we'll. I think Jeremy will have a couple of questions, and we're live streaming, so if we have any come in, John, the host, he will read some. Or they will. I think some of these will pop up on the side, and you may be able to see them in stream. So we'll get it started. You guys have been back and forth a lot online. So is it personal? Is there bad blood? What's up?
I don't think it's personal. I think it's just some mind games. I'm playing chess. He's playing checkers.
Just some good old banner.
Yes, sir.
Sam, what about you, brother?
I didn't think it was, and then I thought I poked some of his buttons. When I started talking about his the record of the people he's beaten and whatnot, and he only fights bums. It felt that day it got a little personal. But at the end of the day, we're gonna settle in the cage.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so this is another question for both of you. This is for the amateur heavyweight title. Has this changed how you're looking at the fight? Is there anything different, or is this just another day?
Just another day in the office, man. Holding up gold at the end of the night. Just gonna be, the icing on the cake.
Sam?
Yeah, it's just another fight. I mean, it is important because it's my last fight at heavyweight, and I'd like to go out with a clean 3-0 record, get the belt, get from the division. I think that'd be a really nice storyline, and then bring these nukes down to light heavyweight.
Okay, well, that actually answers another question I had for you, Sam. So Noah, you're 4-1 with 4 finishes. And you're already ranked the number 2 in Tennessee. This will add a belt to your resume. So where do you think a win over Sam puts you?
I think it puts me, close to the top. I know I still have some stuff to do. Taking out an undefeated guy, taking his O this weekend will just, be something to legitimize myself, start putting on paper what showing how I am as a fighter. On paper right now, he just says I fight all bums. Well, on paper, I would just have taken his O, and 3 weeks later, I'm planning to take another guy's O. So, we're just racking up, taking O's and legitimizing myself in this space.
Sam, so like you said, you're moving to light heavyweight. Is that has that been the goal since the start, or was this? Did you recently decide that this is your
Yeah,
last fight?
I told myself I wasn't going to get in the cage until I got there. Because as you know, I started this whole journey trying to lose weight, and then it was when I came to your guys' show November 2023 and saw you guys fighting. I was like, oh, dude, that's way too exciting, man. I just fell in love with it, so I decided I was like, screw it, I'll fight some guys at heavyweight. It really scared me. It still does scare me. All these big guys pack a punch, but it's more or less I'm not fighting a heavyweight anymore to hold myself accountable with losing the weight, because I know I can get down to 205, but I also know that I don't want to be too small for heavyweight. So if I tell myself I'm not going to fight until I get down there, I'll get down there quick.
Is there any plans for you to move down, Noah?
Yeah,
Or
that's actually the goal. I'm looking to get through this matchup, and 3 weeks later win another. It's actually for another title. So top off my amateur career at heavyweight with 2 belts, and then that give me the headspace to take the rest of the year off while I work the weight down, get it off in a good way. Takes time when you're trying to keep the muscle and get the fat off. And I think this matchup is perfect too, because we both shouldn't be heavyweights. We're just a little on the heavier side. So I think it matches up perfect. We're both aiming for 205 anyway. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one.
Absolutely. This was actually one of the very first matches that we made because the match is going to be a really good matchup, period, for both of you. You both, like you said, y'all are both kind of in the same areas in both of your career, getting towards moving down and getting belts and things like that. So I'm going to let Jeremy take over. I think he might have a couple questions for you guys, and then I think we'll go to some of the live stream questions. I've been seeing a couple that people want to ask Noah and Sam.
Sweet.
All right, hey guys. I just had a couple questions for both of y'all. Sam, I wanted to ask you. So you train out of both Metamorphosis and Bushido, and both of those gyms they tout themselves very highly on their jiu-jitsu and their ground game. But both of your victories have been by first round knockout. Is that something that's just like you want to change? Do you feel a need to highlight your grappling skills, or are you perfectly okay with striking the way you are right now?
I definitely fell in love with striking after the first fight. Honestly, going into that fight, I was scared that I didn't have power and that I wasn't going to be able to hurt anybody. And the whole game plan for the first fight was to take him down. That's what I mainly do is jiu-jitsu, but I've got this God-given power in my hands. I think I'm going to showcase that again Saturday night, but if this fight goes to the ground, he'll be making a big mistake, and I will showcase that if it gets there.
All right, and honestly, that leads into my question for you, Noah. So you are an independent fighter, and I know that I'm curious to you, what advantages do you feel like that gives you? What disadvantages do you feel like that gives you? And do you ever have any intention? At what point do you feel the need to join a gym, before you go pro?
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of disadvantages to it. I mean, you're not sparring with guys daily. It's hard to get grappling looks because grappling, you kind of have to grapple somebody to grapple. You can't. It's hard to simulate that against a bag. But I think with my IQ, there's definitely some positives to it. Some coaches might, throw you in there to someone just because they think you can do it or something, and they might not have the knowledge of your confidence where you're at. So being able to control my career and take the path I'm taking, knowing how I feel, knowing the confidence where I'm at and what stage, I think that's definitely some perks to it. This camp, I got to train for a little over a month with some guys in a gym here in town, and there's some high-level strikers, some high-level guys, and I think that really just kind of showed me that can get me to the next level quick, because I've already seen a ton of improvements in my game just over this last month.
All right, man. That's awesome, dude. You guys are both doing stellar in your careers. Regardless how this fight goes, I'm sure I'll see both you guys again on local shows and around. So thank you very much for your time, guys.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jeremy.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, there was only one question. I'm sorry about the camera here. How were Noah? You were asked, were you impacted by the tornadoes? And I actually want to refine this question a little bit. Did the tornadoes affect either of you in your training camp in preparation for this?
It didn't really affect me. I mean, it rose the heart rate a little bit. It came through my town, but it didn't do no severe damage in my town. It did around the area, but for the most part, I mean, raised the heart rate for a night, a couple hours, and it was good to go after that.
And how about you, Sam?
Yeah, Paducah, we weren't hit like directly by anything big, but we got all that flood water and stuff. It shut down training for about 3 days, but shit happens and you just keep on moving.
For sure. All right. I'm gonna pass it back to Dylan then.
All right.
All right. So I want to thank you guys both for jumping on. Obviously, stay in the stream because we'll have some closing stuff. But we're going to move on to Antonio Munoz.
What's going on?
What's up, brother? Sorry again that your opponent couldn't make it. But again, still want to give you the platform. And I got a couple of questions to ask you.
Sure. Yeah, there's no problem at all.
So I think I saw that you're moving up a weight class for this fight. Does that feel any different? Any added nerves or pressure moving up in weight?
No, it's honestly a relief. 'Cause, I mean, I walk around, anywhere from 190 up to 200 pounds. So I do make a pretty decent cut down to 70. So hearing an opportunity to fight for a belt and I get to, eat steaks and and stuff like that every night, it's honestly just a relief to be able to move up for at least for this fight. I don't think I'll stay in 85 going forward, but it's definitely nice at least for this one fight to do that.
And I forgot real quick, what gym are you training out of? Where are you from and your record?
All right. Well, I'm Antonio Munoz. I'm from Elmhurst, Illinois, and I train out of Wolfden Academy down in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. They got some good dudes. You guys got some UFC dudes over there. I think Sean Woodson trains out of there, doesn't he? He just fought this
Yes,
past weekend.
yeah, I was actually down there in Miami for that fight, so I got to see him fight live down there. So it was awesome. I got to go up to that hotel and go train with him. What was that, Thursday before the fight? So it was a really cool experience, honestly.
Oh, that's sick. That is sick. Okay, so this is for the Rival FC title, the Amateur 85 title. So again, you're moving up in weight class, and not only are you moving up, but you're fighting for the belt, your first time at 185. Has this affected your camp? Has there any changes you made as far as that regard, or is there any nerves, pressure? Do you feel any pressure because of the title?
No pressure at all. I mean, the only changes I really made was working with heavier guys, mostly like true middleweights and light heavyweights, especially just to get that feel of a heavy grappler on me, because I think Jesse just wants to take you down, honestly, if I were to guess, and just increasing my calories on my diet. So just making sure I'm pumping myself up a lot of protein and cutting down the carbs as we get close to this final cut. So besides my training partners and diet, nothing's really changed.
Okay, well, that kind of just brings me right into the next question. So you said you think he's just trying to take you down, and so did you see any flaws, weaknesses that you can capitalize on as far as like his grappling? Because he does have a heavy grappling style. So
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen from his fights, they're old, so I mean, I feel like I don't really get much from that. Just besides the fact I know he's gonna try and take me down and stuff like that. So just focusing on my get ups, focusing on having a strong guard game and a strong game getting back up to my feet because where I excel is striking. So um, I feel like he's not going to be, up to par with my striking ability just based on my recent film here. And you've seen both of my fights in MMA. The first thing they do is try and take you down. As soon as they feel me, that's all they want to do is shoot. So I just come to expect that now. So that's kind of what I see him trying to do, and I see myself dominating on the field.
All right. Well, we're gonna move to the JMA. One of the JMA producers, Jeremy, and I think he has a couple of questions to ask you. And then if there's any viewer questions, John will hop on and ask you as well.
All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes,
All
sir.
right. All right. So, man, yeah, I just had a couple questions for you. This is a fairly short notice fight. I know you guys were the last title addition to the card. The venue changed short notice as well because we had the flooding and everything going on. Has that really changed? Like, how you feel? Like, does that affect you at all having anything short notice, or are you just feeling just as confident as you did at full camp?
I feel just as confident because I was just coming off a camp to fight for Nemesis up in St. Louis. That was supposed to be, when was their card? Like March 15th. So I was already gearing up for that fight. My opponent ended up pulling out like the week before. So I just kept rolling training over and started dieting down because I also had a matchup originally with, you guys had me with some tall dude originally at 70. So I was trying to cut down for that fight as well. So I was always in camp. So I've been in camp for like 2 or 3 months now. So it's just been an
Awesome.
extended camp.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Okay, yeah, then you've had a full camp ready to go. I'm then you win your first amateur title. You go in. You said you're primarily a striker. Say you go in, you get the knockout. What do you have planned next? Is there a specific promotion you have in mind, a specific name, or are you just looking to build up the record right now?
Right now, it's all about the experience. Of course, I'd love to get turned around as quick as possible, especially with the fact of I do want to go back down to 70. So if I can get something like, in a few, 3 to 4 weeks where I'm at a good weight, because I'll be cutting down to 85. So it's like a good start off for the rest of the year and continuing my career.
All right, that was gonna be my last question. Is do you think this is like a one-off weight change, or like do you see yourself going in and feeling how you feel at this weight and liking that better, and possibly taking more fights?
I mean, we'll see how this fight goes as far as the weight. Uh, I wouldn't mind doing short notice fights. Like I could probably cut the weight down to 85 on a week's notice or less. So I probably just use that as more of a short notice to get more experience if the matchup makes sense. Like in this case, um, and kind of go from there. But my home is going to be 70, especially as a professional, just with my length and my size. I think I'll be a good fit for 70.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
No, thank you.
I'm muted. There we go. Sorry. I said, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Doing blessed. All right. We have one question today for you from Michael Fernandez or Fairhurst. Munoz, how did you start out? How did starting out fighting with kickboxing matches affect your confidence to make an MMA debut?
It was great, honestly. The second kickboxing fight I had was the wake up call to start, ramping up my training more like a professional. Because that fight, I came in. I mean, I don't only like, train at the gym at nights. Do my striking there, we'd grapple here and there. I didn't really do much besides the occasional run. Uh, for that last kickboxing fight, and it ended up going like really bad. I got the win in the end of it, but I think it was a majority win or a decision win. So, and I took a lot of damage in that fight, honestly. So that's kind of why there was a layoff there between my first MMA fight. Was just making sure I could round out my skill set. I started training with Matt Owen over at Project Deliverance too, shortly after that fight, and so I started training like 6 a.m.s, working with him, improving my conditioning and my strength. So that was the best part of doing those kickboxing matches. Was that first one I did good and I won very well. that second one was the wake up call of like, okay, hey, like these guys are only going to get better and better. So you better ramp up your training more like a professional. And that's the same trainer that Sean Woodson's under currently. So being around him too, seeing how he works both at the project and at Wolves Den, it gives me a real good understanding of what it takes to make it to the UFC, which is the end goal.
Very beautiful, my friend. All right, passing it back to Dylan Hirt.
Hello. Oh, I'm not back on the stream yet. All right. Okay, Antonio, I think that was all the questions we have for you. You'll pop backstage until the end of the stream. Do you have any do you have any questions for us or anything like that?
None at all. I'm just, blessed to be here and thankful you guys brought me on.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the match, brother. We appreciate it. All right, so now we're going to be moving on to one half of our co-main event. Jarrad, the last Bandito Gonzales. He is one of probably the biggest touted amateurs in the area. So, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Not much. How you feeling, dude?
Ready to go, man. Ready to fucking go eat something. I'm tired of eating greens and chicken and healthy food.
Well, I got a couple of questions for you. This was kind of short notice for you because we had somebody. Well, your opponent wasn't able to do it, and then somebody else's opponent wasn't able to do it. But I still wanted to give you screen time. So,
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, winning the belt, it's a tough task. A lot of people, that's some of their goals is getting that gold around their waist. But you did it. You've done it before, several times. But this is a defense for you. So is there any added pressure defending this belt, or is it just, hey, this is another fight for me?
No, not pressure when it comes to the belt. More or less the opponent, man. He's a high-ranked opponent, you know what I'm saying? And I'm on the verge of going pro, you know what I'm saying? So these fights that I'm taking ain't just pick of the cherry fights, you know what I'm saying? They're tough fights. And you just gotta be mindful when you're picking them kind of fights. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Especially, yeah, like you said, you're transitioning into that. I'm about to go pro, so it's your competition needs to match that. So but you do in this fight, even though Manny is he's very highly touted, he's good. But you have the edge in experience. Do you think that's going to be one of the biggest factors in this fight? Is that you've been in there a lot more?
I mean, yeah, I think it'll help a little bit, and I kind of think they look at my losses and kind of look at them and like, man, he's only lost by submission, so that's where we're gonna go. But in all reality, I got a lot of experience grappling. It's just, hey, everybody has bad nights, and I've just had, some more than others, but. No, man. I think that's where they're gonna try and slack up on me in the experience, part of it. But in all reality, believe it or not, man, I got a lot of experience grappling.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have a pretty extensive career over kickboxing, grappling, and MMA. So, which, man, brother, finding you a freaking match is like probably one of the hardest things to do. I've had at least 7 people turn you down. So
yeah, man. Well, people also look at, they don't just look at the losses. Okay, he's only lost by submission. I mean, they see them wins too, and every single one of them's a finish. You know what I'm saying? I'm a finisher, and if the cards are in my favor, I'm sorry, you're getting finished.
Yeah, me and Jeremy actually were talking about that. He was like, man, does he even have any decision fights? I was like, I think he has like maybe one in kickboxing.
The only thing that's went to decision has been a couple kickboxing matches.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I said he's a kind of finish or be finished type of dude. That's just what it is. So if you win this, you'll be 11-4 as an Emmy. So what do we expect from the Last Bandito after this? Do you have any names, specific
I
fights you
mean,
want to pick out?
I don't have anybody specific, but it's definitely pro time, you know. And regardless, win, lose, or draw, you know, it's pro time, you know. Like you just said, I mean, I've almost had 15 MMA fights, you know. You got these guys who, you know, more power to them, do what you want to do, but who got 4 or 5 fights, they want to go pro. Brother, you ain't had the experience. I promise you, you need at least 15, 20 fights. You need at least 10. I feel like to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But no,
Absolutely.
man, I'm there. I've had the fights. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I've just went and fought scrubs. Don't get me wrong. Everybody fights tomato cans at some point, you know, in their amateur career. But hell, my last couple fights have been against top ranked opponents. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I think again that plays into kind of like people turning you down because it's not just that you've fought, you're finishing these dudes, you're finishing these high level guys. And yeah, it's just nobody wants to take the fight. It's just hard to get you a match. So
Which is
honestly,
funny, man, because they've been wanting me and Manny to fight for a long time. They wanted us to fight, you know, on Hub City. I couldn't make it happen, man. I was dealing with rib injuries, you know, and coming off, you know, a hurt knee, and the rib injury was pretty serious. I mean, hell, I still have lumps, you know, on my ribs because of it. But, you know, it's just something you got to deal with when you're doing these things. We pushed it back, and here we are, you know. We're able to make it happen in Kentucky.
yes, sir, in your backyard.
Yeah, that's the other thing, man. I'm excited, man. It's going to be a banger, I promise.
Yes, sir. I expect nothing less, honestly. So I'm going to move it to Jeremy. Jeremy, I think, has a couple of questions. If there's any chat questions, he'll also ask those.
Cool.
Yes, sir. It should pass to him in just a second.
All right, what's up, man? You hear me all right?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Same old, same old. I just had a couple questions for you. I mean, dude, one of the things I wanted to ask you was, you have always gone out and put up a performance. I mean, the last time that you were out at Rival FC, you got a submission in like 35 seconds. I mean, what do you like it when your fights end up being that short? If you can just go in and get the knockout and walk away, or is that like frustrating that you put in that camp? Like, do you want to showcase your skills more? And what do you think you can do to top that this time?
I mean, I think everybody likes to go out there and hurry up, get the job done, get the night over with, relax. But, you know, in all reality, you know, if you can work somebody for 3-minute rounds or 3 5-minute rounds, I mean, dude, and if you could finish them in the later rounds, cool, that's even better. But you get to showcase your skills more, you know, when you go them further rounds, and you really get to test yourself in them further rounds. So, no, I wouldn't say it frustrates me, but, you know, there has been times where I'm like, man, well, I didn't really get to see what this full camp put in, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you come out with a W, the dub, and at the end of the day, man, that's all that matters.
All right, fair enough. Well, I mean, one more question then too. I mean, like Dylan was saying before, we were just talking. I mean, you don't have anything that goes to decision. I mean, it's always finish or be finished, like very kill or be killed mindset. Do you think that changes in any way this time? Do you think that this guy at this ranking could actually push you to a decision in MMA, or do you think it's going to be the same result?
I mean, no, man, he's a solid dude. I expected to go all 3 rounds, you know. He's pretty tough. I don't think he's ever been finished, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I expected to go all 3 rounds, but, you know, I'm going to go in there and do the shit that I do, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's got their own game plan. Everybody's got their own thing that they do. I think what they're going to be looking for is, you know, they're going to be looking for me to throw that big head kick. But in all reality, man, I've been training not to throw the head kick for this fight, you know, focus on the boxing. So, you know, we're going to try and box them up for 3 rounds. And if it goes to the ground, I'm going to implement that purple belt. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, hell, like I said, the grappling experience, you know, they've been trying to give me my brown belt, but I refuse it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think he's going to be surprised if he goes to the ground.
All right. I mean, so that actually, Michael has a question in the chat. He said, Manny's grappling has been talked up a lot by local promoters. Do you plan to showcase your own jiu-jitsu, or do you plan to get a quick knockout? And so that makes me wonder as well, like if you go out against somebody this high caliber, you said you're refusing that brown belt right now, that, you know, do you think what do you want in your mind to achieve to where you feel that you've earned that?
It's not really like anything that I want to achieve, and you know, it's just a time thing. You know, when I feel like I've had enough experience in the cage, because in all reality, I don't do anything in the gi. You know what I'm saying? I don't go over gi chokes. I don't go over gi anything. And then to the you know, implementing my strategy, you know, if I'm going to do grappling, hey man, I like striking, and that's what the fans want to see. You know what I'm saying? They want to see two motherfuckers go in there and punch each other in the face, and I'm willing to go do that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is, you know, and like I said, man, wherever the fight goes, it goes. But I promise he'll be surprised if it goes to the ground.
All right. Well, one more question then. We've talked about how it's hard to find you some of these fights now. You're getting towards the end of your amateur career. You've got multiple finishes in a row. I mean, it's just a constant violence. Have you ever considered doing one of these like long distance trips, going out to New York, going out to Connecticut? I remember you reaching out when I was in Colorado and being like, "Hey, what's that competition like out there?" Or is that something that you would rather save for like a pro career in order to be worth the trip?
Oh no, trust me, bro. We've went over 8 hours to fight, you know, and traveling's really no problem, you know. I'll go anywhere and fight, you know. But there was just a couple things I wanted to implement before, you know, we did go do it big. And you know, we had a guy that wanted to fight, Clark, but they didn't want to do one more as an amateur. They wanted to do it as a pro. But like I said, man, there's a few more things I wanted to implement, you know, as an amateur and get that secured in. So yeah, man, no, I don't mind the travel. It's just there's some things I wanted to implement in my game and work on, you know, before we went pro and handle them things.
All right, man. Well, dude, I think that covers everything. Thank you so much for your time, man. I'm gonna pass it back to Dylan.
All right, bro. Hell yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing this. I see that you're right outside the training room, so
Yeah, no. As soon as
yeah,
I get off here, I'm finna go in here and train.
absolutely. Hey, man, we appreciate it. Hey, and I think it's a good look to, like you said, get as much experience as possible. Do it. You know, this game isn't about them. You know what I mean? It's about you. So if you feel like,
For
hey, I
sure.
want to do some more things as an amateur, do more things as an amateur. You know what I mean? Like you said, I think a lot of people are thrusting themselves into the pro scene too early. We see it a lot,
Brother,
now.
Some of these people don't understand. I've been to the pro gyms, you know, where they got, you know, pro fighters, multiple pro fighters, UFC fighters. Brother, some of these guys ain't ready for that level yet. They got to get the experience. And that's not me, you know, ragging on them or talking shit to them, man. I'm telling you, experience is key in this game.
Yes, sir. That is the name of the game. Yes, sir. But yeah, dude, we appreciate you taking the time out. The stream, we're gonna do Wallace, and I don't think Rob's in here yet, but we're gonna wrap up with Wallace. Just stay in the stream for just a minute, and then
Hell yeah, look, hey, big shout out to Harper Construction, my sponsor. You know, they're one of the only sponsors that I can get to come through, and DNS Auto Detailing. You know, it's great, two great companies, man, going to a good cause. So you know, I appreciate them. Shout out to them for, you know, supporting me, you know, on this journey and being a part of the journey.
Yes, sir. Hey, thanks for coming on, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move it over to the main event for Rival FC. It's going to be our pro fight at 205 pounds. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. You look nice. I like that. I like that jacket.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, it looks like we're not going to be able to have your opponent in here. It doesn't look like he's going to be joining us.
I figured.
Well, that actually is going to bring me into my first question. So, like, you guys did fight as amateurs, so you're familiar with each other. What are your thoughts on each other? Like, how do you feel about Robert? What are your thoughts on Robert?
Honestly, I think that my skills are way better than his, and I think that he has a lack of heart, and I will bring that out and show that on Saturday night.
Okay, so yeah, this is your pro debut. Is there any added pressure, or is it another day in the office? Did you add anything to your preparation? Has anything changed as far as moving from AME to pro?
I think the only thing that I can say that actually has changed more so is, how long your training is, because you're training for what, 2 extra minutes. You know what I mean? So I think the rounds have gotten a little bit longer, but I have been preparing for 5-minute rounds, even as an amateur, because this was the goal. Like, we know we were going to go pro, and I wanted to do this to provide for my family. So this isn't. I've never just done it for fun. It's always been to make money. So. It is fun. I enjoy it, but it's always been to make it an eventual occupation. But I would say that there is no pressure. At the end of the day, I know that my skills are better, and I just have to come and make that apparent on Saturday night. And pressure is a privilege, because that means there's high expectation. So I'm ready to meet the expectation on Saturday night.
So your first fight ended by doctor stoppage. You won the first fight. Do you see it any? You said you think stylistically you're a really bad match for him. Period. Your skill set's better. Period. So, do you think it's gonna change the outcome at all? Is it gonna be faster this time, or are you gonna try to go in there and kind of showcase more of your skills?
As long as he stays around for the fight, then I'll get the chance to showcase my skills and to show that I am better than him. The doctor stoppage last time, that's not, up to me. That's not a choice that I get. That's a choice that was made between his lack of heart and the referee. So for me, I'm just hoping that he comes ready to go, because I am ready to go, and I will show that on Saturday night. But at the end of the day, I beat this man. There's still danger there. Let's not get that twisted. I am very confident in my preparation, and that's why I'm going to be confident in my performance. So I believe that I'm going to go there and collect 2 checks on Saturday, one for the weight, one for the win. But at the end of the day, I just know that I put in the time, I put in the work to be prepared for this moment, and I'm going to take his head on Saturday.
So you fought at 185. You fought at 205. Is this is this where you're going to be as a pro, or is it 185? Is this just your one-off to close this dude's mouth, pretty much?
I just asked him personally, because y'all were having trouble kind of finding me a fight at the time, and I just reached out and asked him if he wanted his ass whipped on April 19th, and he said yes. But the thing was that he wanted to fight. He couldn't make 185 or something with his coaches, so he said 95. Then it wasn't 95, and he said his coaches wanted 205. So like I said, like Shannon Sharp says, Lakers in 5, 185, 205, 265, Wallace in 5.
Hell yeah. So so this one's at 205. So do you feel better at this weight, obviously, because you don't have to cut as much?
Yeah, like I forget his name, but what he was saying before is like you can still eat, and I think that's probably one of the best things, because I think that that's supplemented my training as well. Having the ability to still be able to load myself with calories so I can have an optimal training session. Sometimes whenever you're cutting that weight very high, it's kind of hard for you to keep up with your training sessions that are required with the energy level. So I think that that's helped me, because I've been able to like literally put it out. Literally up until this point, like I'm still right. I'm cutting weight right now, but I'm completely fine. So
Right.
usually I'll be pretty bad, but this time I'm pretty good.
So it feels good. Yeah, it's always those last 2 weeks of fight camp, especially when you're going down, man, and not being able to eat. Oh man, it's one of the worst times ever. So I can imagine that it feels good. It feels good. So we're gonna move to Jeremy. I think he has a couple of questions, and then there may be a couple in the chat as well.
Okay.
All right, what's up, man? You hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Are you good, Jeremy? What's going on?
Good seeing you again, man. Good seeing you.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
I just had a couple questions for you, dude. Really, every time that I've spoken with you, I've interacted with you, you've always come across very intelligently. And looking at your career, I see the same thing. You know, a lot of amateur fighters, they waste time fighting on some really like weird off-brand promotion, or like guys that like it's not even. When I look at your record, I see like Hub City, I see. You hit a Rival FC, you hit Aries Fight Series. I mean, you Future of Fighting, Black Tie. You always had a very calculated approach to doing the right things at the right time and treating it as a career instead of just as a hobby. So, what is your thoughts going into your pro career? Do you have any specific organizations in mind? Any fights that you want to do first?
Well, after this fight, I'll have a roundtable discussion with my team, and see, and look at the area and look at the map and see what's the best option for us. Honestly, it may be a little too close, but the LFA will be in Louisville in June. So I think with a great performance that I could earn a contract to the LFA in Louisville. For it maybe it just be a one-off to get my feet wet, but I think that's something that could be on the table. But right now, I'm taking this game low and slow, like you smoking meat, right? So I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna execute, and then me and my team are gonna look at the whole board and look at the playing field and see what's the best option next.
All right, man. And I have another question for you as well about your opponent. So Robert normally he's fought at heavyweight and at light heavyweight, so he's not weight cutting at all for this fight. Does that concern you at all, or do you feel like that gives you the advantage, the disadvantage? How do you feel about weight cutting in general?
I feel like weight cutting it can be advantageous depending on your style. If you are a heavy wrestler, I would suggest that you cut a lot of weight, because then when you get in the cage, it will be easy for you to employ your style upon your opponent. I would suggest that for wrestlers, but for strikers that want to be a little bit lighter on their feet, I think that you shouldn't cut as much weight. But regardless of that, I believe that it is sanctioned cheating, but all of us have to do it at some point, even at the lighter weight classes. If you got 5 pounds to cut, you're still cutting weight. So all of us as fighters have to experience that, and everyone knows what that is. Does it concern me? No. Let me ask you a question. What pays the bills in this sport?
What pays the bills in the sport? Wins.
No, skills. Skills pay the bills, and my skills are better than his. And I will show that on Saturday. There's not a place in that cage or in the Knights of Columbus where he beats me. In the bathroom, the cage, backstage, it doesn't matter. He doesn't beat me on Saturday because I'm a better grappler, I'm a better wrestler, I'm a better striker. And I will show him on Saturday that my skills are better and he is an inferior person.
All right, man. Well, that goes partially answers the next question. I got a question from the chat from Michael. He said, "Do you plan to test your stand-up against Robert, who is known for his striking? Do you want to prove that point, or as a pro debut, are you looking for the path of least resistance in the grappling department?"
My plan is to put my belt to his ass on Saturday. So at the end of the day, if I can knock him out, but I also believe in taking the easiest, the least path of resistance, which is to take him down and dog him on the ground. But that opportunity will have to open up, and if it opens up, the work will be done on the feet first. So if he stands tall long enough, I'll probably take him down and beat him until he submits. Right? I want him to quit. I don't want TKO, or I want to separate him from his consciousness or make him quit. So whatever way that comes, I just need to separate him from his consciousness on Saturday night while I put my belt to his ass.
All right, man. Well, sounds like you definitely have bad intentions for Robert Saturday. I have one more question for you before I let you go. And that is, man, you've started to teach a little bit here as well. I've seen you're doing the classes at Metamorphosis. You're up at Quest. You've hit that point in your career now, going in as a pro, that you've learned a lot and you're starting to share that knowledge. What is one thing that you think amateurs should here, going in, starting an amateur career, what's one thing that you wish you knew starting out that you know now?
That's an interesting question. I've never been asked that. I think it's about your approach to training. A lot of us, at least when we first started, at least we'll go to the gym, but we're just going there to take up space. Like being there, yes, we're there to learn. Of course, we're there to learn. But I think that every day you go into that training hall, that training room, you open that door, you should have a specific thing in mind or a specific few things in mind that you want to accomplish that day. If you are not doing that, then your training is aimless and you'll never get better that way. The way you get better in a short amount of time is by having prioritized training, and that's how you get better in a small amount of time. So that's what I think. I think it's just making sure that you have a plan in place for your training and just not showing up every day.
That's really good advice. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate your time. I think at this point I'm gonna pass it back over to Dylan. Thank you again, dude. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you.
I'm back, brother. Well, man, again, it was hard to find. You had said that people, you just couldn't find a fight at 185. Just people were turning you down there too. But no, we're glad we could get you on to have your pro debut. It's going to be massive. I know there's been a lot of changes. I mean, crap, you were again 185, then it got changed to 195, then 205, and then the venue changed. So, but no, we're excited to watch you perform on this Saturday, man.
Yes, sir. I'm well prepared, at peace, and ready to perform. I'm excited to perform for the city.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you're from Murray, so this is your backyard too, pretty much. So
No, I'm from Paducah. I went to Paducah Tillman, so I'm from the city.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're from so you're in your hometown. So you just train out of Murray. Okay.
Yep.
I see.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. That's even better. So we're gonna go to the closing. Stay in the chat so everybody can we're gonna do like closing where everybody can kind of give a shout out and stuff like that.
Okay.
All righty, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Again, we thank everybody for watching. I want to thank all the fighters for taking the time out of your busy schedules. I know it's pretty crazy, especially when we're amateurs. We're working full time usually, plus training, plus weight cutting on fight week. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time out and doing this. And I appreciate everybody in the comments that's asked questions and things like that. We're trying to make this show as big as possible. As you can tell with our, we've added a pro fight. We are looking to add more pro fights as the show continues. So I'm going to let the fighters come on and we'll go probably like one by one and they can give shout outs and things like that to close us out. Okay. Are we going to add? Can we add more of them on? There we go. Okay. Once I get a couple more of you guys on, we'll start moving from we'll go down the same list that we did before. Noah and Sam, then Antonio, Jarrad, and then Wallace. Okay, so we'll start with Sam. You got any closing you want to say? Any shout outs, anything like that?
Shout out to my coaches, Yona Israel and Austin Byer, and everybody acquainted with those gyms. They've definitely helped me prepare. They've got me prepared. I'm ready to do whatever it needs Saturday night to bring home that belt. At the end of the day, I'm an entertainer, and I'm going out there to entertain in devastating fashion, no matter what.
Any predictions before we get off here?
Hey, this entire build-up, me and Noah have been saying someone's done in one. We're both claimed around 1 KO, and then he switched it to around 2 KO. That's all I need to hear. He doesn't want to be in there with me, round 1 KO.
All righty. Well, that's good to hear. Hey, man, we thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us, brother.
Thank you guys.
Peace. All right, Noah. Same thing with you. You got any shout outs, anything you want to say back to Sam about that?
Yeah, man. Hey, I was thinking first round KO, get him out there quick, easy, make it a quick night for him. He could go to sleep, it'd be quick. Now, he's been talking a little, too much chirping. So punish him a little, bring it into the second round, show him there's levels to this game, and I'm gonna end the night with gold.
All righty. Hey, well, we appreciate you joining.
I appreciate y'all.
Uh,
Also, this is gonna be fight of the night, 100%, no doubt in my mind.
all
I'm gonna
righty.
put on a show that no other heavyweight puts on, especially in the amateur scene.
Hey, I'm excited. Y'all's matchup is one of that I'm really big excited as a matchmaker to put together and watch play out.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Take care.
All right. So we'll bring Antonio in. Oh, 1 second. Guys.
I hate to tell you this, but Antonio left.
All right. Then we'll go to Jarrad if Jarrad's still here.
I hate to tell you this. I have Jarrad, but he's not non-responsive.
Yeah, I think he just went to training. I forgot about that. All right. Well, then we'll move to Wallace, the main event, the real McCoy.
He's muted.
1 second, Wallace, you're muted.
I want to give a big shout out to my team at Murray, Kentucky, in my preparation for this fight. Matlock BJJ, who is also a place where I teach and train, and also one of my sponsors in Martin, Tennessee. The rest of my sponsors will be Optimize You in Murray, Kentucky, Fruita Bowls of Murray, Kentucky, Tap 216, JB Sports Nutrition in Murray, Kentucky. And lastly, of course, to my coaches that's going to be in my corner, Christian Den, he's the head cornerman, my wrestling coach, Kyle Graham, and then my striking coach, Ben Glim out of Clarksville. And then I also got a shout out for everybody that he won't be in my corner this time, but he's my dog and he's always had my best interest at heart, to James Chris Champ. That's my dog, my Boston coach. I got to give him a lot of credit for my success and for peanut butter and jelly over here. So I'm excited to perform and to meet everybody's expectations on Saturday.
Heck yeah, man. We're looking forward to watching you perform for sure. So glad we could have you guys on. Again, sorry that your opponent wasn't able to make it.
I figured.
But, yeah, you said you figured a couple times, so it's like you knew something we didn't. So yeah, we'll get this get this pro debut out of the way, and I hope I hope everything goes good Saturday night and you continue to flourish afterwards. I'm excited to watch for sure.
It will.
All righty, guys, we're gonna close it out again. Thank you, guys, three fighters, for joining. Thank you, everybody in the comments that joined. If you enjoyed the show. Oh, sorry, muted. I want to give a shout out to JMA for hosting this. This is a great platform, and I think it's really going to help us step up Rival FC. So we appreciate you, John and Dalton, and Jeremy for hooking us up with John. I think as you can see, there's a ticker down there. It says you can book J Murray Athletics to stream your next event. This isn't a Rival FC exclusive. If you have an event or know an event, reach out to John or Jeremy. Again, we appreciate everybody that joined the stream, everybody watching. Thank you guys so much.